What is up, team? Today we're going to be looking at the Adobe Max Keynote for 2022, and I'm basically going to go through all of this content so you don't have, or rather if you don't have enough time to go through all the content, I can basically try and summarize it as best as I can. So without further ado, here we go. Pretend you didn't see that, guys. I think with the way that I edit this down and speed through it all, it should be okay, because I'm going to comment on things as well. I've reacted to Adobe videos before, and I wasn't very impressed with those ones, but that one, that was cool. Before I continue this, let's see if they start talking about experience again. Last time I reacted to some Adobe keynotes and videos, all they could talk about was experience. They love that word so much. Let's see how they go this time.
So great to be back in person after 3 years for our 20th Max. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I mean, how cool was that video? Let's give them a round of applause. The excitement and energy here is so palpable. I cannot even tell you how cool it is to be back here.
Yep.
And our 40th anniversary and relentlessly focused on We released InDesign in 1999.
Okay. This is kind of like general knowledge at this point.
We're turning our attention to solving synchronous collaboration.
Okay, so we're getting back into sort of like artificial intelligence again. I actually think that that's the new keyword that they're throwing around these days. I mean, it's been around for ages, but I've noticed it's less about like experience now and more on artificial intelligence.
As well as marketing campaigns and their workflows. We're using Adobe Sensei to allow...
It's that guy, the stock photo guy. The amount of projects I've done with that guy's photo in it.
people to free themselves from mundane tasks and deliver absolutely new superpowers. Speech to text, for example, in Premiere Pro, that uses the power of AI to automatically generate captions to videos. Or Liquid Mode in Acrobat, which uses AI to automatically make responsive PDF on mobile devices. Thanks to the incredible partnership with and monetize to create products. The world is truly your canvas, full, vibrant place. But thank you so much again for joining us today, and with that...
And I want to start by just echoing a little bit of what Shantanu said.
Echoing? No, let's skip right through that.
Where digital content consumption is exploding and where virtually every business needs a digital presence. Of course, this creates amazing opportunity for all of you. But it also creates real challenges. The vast majority of you say that it's really hard to keep up with the demands on your time, and that you have less bandwidth to experiment and learn new things.
That right there. Not just like on top of that, right? Say you're someone with multiple commitments, right? You know, you either got a family, or you go to a church, or you have a side project like a business that you're running, or a band that you're in, like you like music a lot, so you're in a band as well. That plus, you know, everything else, you know, the 9-to-5 classic work schedule, there really isn't any time. You don't have enough time in a day, and that's something I'm struggling with as well. And I don't even have a full-time job, but I have a lot of little projects going on, but that's besides the point. Anyways, continuing.
And that's what we want to focus on today. How can Adobe help you take what's in your mind and make it with higher production value and in less time? So you can take advantage of the opportunities in front of you, and so you can spend more time surprising and inspiring all of us with what you create.
If only I could just pump out my ideas just like that and not be gatekeeping everything. But we don't live in a world like that just yet, and a lot of that stuff costs money.
In a minute, I'll invite Scott Belsky, who runs our creative products, on stage to walk you through all the incredible innovation his team has been working on. And when he does, it will be very easy to get caught up in all the amazing technology. And you should get caught up in it.
That's right. Yeah, we should.
It's kind of mind-blowing. But beyond the raw technology, I want you all to keep a few things in mind.
Okay.
First is that our goal, as Shantanu said, has always been to give you the ability to accomplish anything in your mind's eye with the most...
I'm skipping to the next guy.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be with you all this morning. Just feels so good to be in person and to share the very latest from our teams. We've got a lot of fun stuff that fall under 3 themes.
I like fun.
Performance and superpowers, or precision and superpowers, speed and ease, and collaborative creativity. In Premiere Pro, new features like automatic color correction and one-click remixing of music tracks are making the entire video process much more efficient. Even simpler to select complex objects and work with assets imported from Illustrator.
Okay, now that's cool.
And in Photoshop on the web, available now in beta, we've launched new editing, compositing, and retouching capabilities to the product. These features and many more like them
We've seen
help you
remove background
create.
before.
Our teams have also been laser focused on improving performance. But we have made significant improvements across Creative Cloud over the last year in both performance and reliability, and this momentum will continue in the year to come. We're also focused on making you much more productive with new superpowers.
I like this talk about superpowers because I market myself as a design superhero. So, cool. I like that.
And to iterate. For instance, in Photoshop, you can get rid of a distracting object just by clicking on it and hitting delete. Sensei automatic.
Oh my goodness. This is the reason why I make these kind of videos. And then, that the tool that they announced the other time with the sky replacement, that's like endless possibilities right there. So you delete the balloon from the image and then you replace the sky with a different one. Now, okay, while I'm on that topic, what's to stop a graphic design student now from plagiarizing? They could just take someone's, or even a photography student, really. They could take someone's photo, delete a few items from it, change the sky, maybe remove background, some model, and throw them in the image, and then auto color and adjust it. What's to stop someone from doing that and being like, oh, this is my photo. Hire me to be your photographer. Hire me to be your graphic designer, when the backbone of it was done by someone else. Something to consider, especially for students who might take advantage of that.
Of course, AI isn't only about saving time. It's also about doing things that you previously didn't even think were technologically possible. You can turn day into night or summer into winter with neural filters. You can replace a moving object frame by frame.
Oh my goodness,
all at
wow.
once and that next generation of AI that David was talking about earlier will actually help generate assets for you.
Okay, this is interesting.
We also want to outfit you with one more superpower that's becoming increasingly essential for creative professionals these days, and that is the ability to create for 3D and immersive experiences. Let's face it, sometimes you just want to do something super quickly and as easily as possible, and Adobe Express is really becoming the perfect app for those situations. When you need to quickly, edit an image, trim a video, make a GIF, or a GIF for those of you that like to be wrong, and with Express, you can give anyone in the company templates and tools to create a social media post that follows your brand and design standards to a T. So lo and behold, you actually can retain creative control in this new world after all.
Wow. If only the marketing teams would listen, but us designers have to carry that.
Track too much. All right. So, are you ready? You're going to see new ways we're accelerating your work in Illustrator and how we're making handling type a breeze in InDesign. And you'll see one major new collaboration feature across our flagship products I just want to point out. Whenever you see Share in the top right corner of your application, you now have actually 2 great options at your fingertips. First, you can invite others to edit your document with just a URL. The people that you're working with, can access this project on the desktop app or jump into Photoshop on the web and soon Illustrator on the web. But the second, a brand new option, is Share for Review, a super efficient way to get feedback from all stakeholders on your project with just a click. With Share for Review, you can share design with anyone just by sending a link. Your colleagues can view your work in any browser, make comments, and even point out specific parts of the design that need changes. And the reviewers don't need Creative Cloud. In fact, they don't even need to be logged in. And you'll see all...
Didn't I make a video about something like this before? You can check that video out over in this link. But I talked about AI getting to that point, and that was a couple of years ago.
All their comments start flowing right back into the application you use to create the design, where you can address it without ever disruptions. So you Share for it.
Thanks, Scott. All right, I'm working on a travel journal design in collaboration with Christine Herron, a previous Adobe Creative resident. I'm here in InDesign, and I have most of the pages already laid out, but there's still a few adjustments that I'm looking to make. I have this photo that I took on my phone, I airdropped this in, so it is an HEIC image. Previously, I would have had to convert this in order to use it, but InDesign now supports modern formats like HEIC, JP2s, etc.
About time. I like how they started clapping for that.
All right, so I also want to add in a photo to this bottom left-hand corner. I don't have something exactly in mind, so I'm going to head to the web to Adobe Stock. So I'm going to head back to InDesign and go to my libraries panel. Here are all of those shared
Okay, we know that.
colors.
We know this already.
As I scale this down, I am noticing the text still isn't working perfectly. You know, I want this text to ideally wrap around the side of the chipmunk. So in order to get that effect today, I would take this photo into Photoshop, select the subject, generate a path, bring that path into InDesign. All of that takes time. So instead, I'm going
Wait, no. You don't have to do that. You can just adjust the bounding box and make it go around the chipmunk. But I'm guessing they've introduced something even easier.
use the brand new text wrap around object feature and use select subject. Now this analyzes my photo and it automatically found the subject for me.
But
I'm going to bump up the padding
yeah,
just
that's
a
what I was
little
going to say.
bit.
Just add some padding.
And that
in.
looks great.
Perfect.
So again, this is the brand new text
Wow, that's amazing. Amazing. Good stuff. Good stuff.
wrap around. So typically when I go to I haven't styled this at all yet. So typically when I go to style text, I might start with like my head. So instead, I'm going to get a baseline using the brand new style packs.
Whoa,
Now,
what is it? Style packs.
these are pre-packaged with different font pairings, and they use machine learning to look at my text and actually identify all of the different areas for me. So I'm going to go ahead and apply one of these right now. Again, it's using that machine learning, looking at my text, identifying the section, and just like
that's
that,
cool.
it's changed the
Nice.
entire
I
design.
like that.
And this is an Illustrator file that I have embedded in InDesign. So the main thing I actually want to do while I'm here, I have this rope. I am going to use the brand new intertwine feature. So with my lasso tool, I'm simply going to circle the areas where I want these objects to swap places.
Now that's impressive, yo. That's pretty cool. Okay, you get a point for that.
Alrighty, it looks like the travel journal that we've been collaborating on, and it looks really, really great since I've last seen it. I love the style packs that she's incorporated here. I think it looks really good, but I am noticing that we did forget to license this image. And the really cool thing about Share for Review is now you can mark up directly in the document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a pin where I've got the feedback and say, let's license this.
All right, so I just got a notification that Bria left a few comments on the designs, and there's now a built-in review panel where I can see all of the comments that she's left. This is, I have a lot of pages. I don't have to go searching for every single place where she left feedback.
Review panel.
With one click, it takes me directly to
that's
that spread.
great. Love that. See, that would eliminate a lot of like back and forth and like calls as well. Just get the main decision makers that need to see the design to give you some comments, and then just address the comments, send it back one more time, and hopefully that will be perfect enough. Adobe Express doesn't seem to interest me as much, so we might just skip through this. Basically Adobe trying to be Canva.
I'm so excited
it's this
to show
guy.
you Adobe Express. It's a web and mobile app
Paul.
for
So here I am in my email, and Serge just shared with me a link to today's demo document. So I can just click this link. It's going to take me right into Photoshop on the web beta. I don't have to install or download anything. I can get started right away. And on the left, I have tools.
How they're going into like
on the right
these web,
is the layers panel where I can add adjustments, effects.
It's very interesting how they're going into this web-based software, which I think is kind of cool. Although, yeah, it's probably not as powerful as the Creative Cloud software at this point in time.
Mask. So a lot of familiar faces from Photoshop on the desktop, but now it's all right here in the browser.
Hello, creative humans. It's very nice to see you all. So lovely to be back. Well, here I am in the browser in Frame.io, and just like Bria showed you earlier, it is incredibly easy to add markups and comments, but more importantly, the most important thing of all, frame accurate comments and markups right here. Yes! Thank you, sir, in the back. And if you look down in the tools panel below, you'll see that we have very similar tools. You can draw or paint.
Okay, so it seems like they're talking a lot about these web-based versions right now, so I can skip through this as well. There's a lot of talk about the collaborative commenting.
But it would be useful if I could see them directly on my timeline. So I'm going to go ahead and import comments, and boom, there are his added in green and my original markers in blue. And when I click each comment, it takes me to the exact frame where he left me the feedback. So here he wants me to...
All right, that's self-explanatory. It's Figma time, guys. Let's see what happens here.
For those in the audience who haven't tried Figma before, can you give a quick description of what Figma is? And
Figma's a platform for product development teams. So
Probably going to get about 15 minutes or less content from this 2-hour video.
Perhaps the fastest growing new medium of creativity right now is 3D and immersive. Over the last couple of years, we've seen the adoption of 3D design explode among companies and organizations, and they're creating renderings of new products that don't even exist to more easily test ideas with customers. As opposed to prior, but keep developing worlds, and pretty much every immersive game that you've all played was touched with a Substance 3D product. Today, we are launching Substance Modeler, a breakthrough app that lets you create 3D objects from scratch, literally molding them out of virtual clay.
So they've basically, it's Adobe's Mudbox.
Of course, using these.
So here I have Substance Painter open, and I'm working on this project for some rugged outdoor gear.
I just want to add something to this before I continue. So I don't know if it really matters whether or not you have all these materials that you can show off and stuff. Because, yeah, it's cool, right? It's cool that you can see an item or object in all these different materials. But when it comes to something like merchandising, for example, I feel like customers are very limited into what they can have as merchandise. Even just printing a T-shirt, right? For example, you could mock up, a fancy like T-shirt that like was reflective gold or something, right? But it's never going to be, you're just never going to be able to get that in real life. Like the normal person wouldn't be able to fund and afford that special material that would go onto a product that they want to sell. So yeah, it's all fun and games when you're displaying it on a 3D model, but like unless things are accessible, and they're not, because I do drop shipping for my merch. Feel free to check out the merch, by the way, in link in description. But there is very limited options when it comes to just drop shipping merch. Even something as simple as a pair of socks. Some websites only offer one type of sock, and it's not even a good type of sock because half of it is black and then the other half is whatever your design is, and it just doesn't really work. But yeah, it's cool. Like in essence, it's cool to see the different ways you can design a 3D model or product with different kinds of materials and stuff. It's just when it comes to having these things in real life, it's not super achievable for people that do not have the funding to actually get that stuff made physically.
Now, you can leverage content that you create in Photoshop or Illustrator and transform that into a 3D material. So here I have this graphic for outdoor adventures, and I want to take this and turn it into an embroidered patch that I can place on the front of my backpack. So let's jump back over here to...
Again, on embroidery, not every company that does these drop shipping can even achieve all of these colors, especially when you want to get something embroidered, like in a teal color, for example. They usually don't offer teal colors. They wouldn't offer this shade of green. It would probably be more closer to that green. It's very limited. And as much as at the end of the day, it depends on what you're trying to do. But if you're trying to pump out merchandise, there's just a very low chance that you're going to achieve the colors or the materials that you're after.
All right, so to get this started, I'm going to grab this embroidery material and I'm going to place it right here on the front of the bag. Now, I'm going to take that Illustrator graphic and I'm going to place it as the image input, and you'll see within a second, there is my patch. Let's zoom in and take a look. So the color values have been transformed into threads and stitching. And I have full control over this. So for example, if I come over and maybe change something like the thread size, I can do so by just adjusting the slider, and you'll see again within a few seconds that updates. It looks great, and that is the power of Substance materials.
Yeah, very impressive, just not realistic if you wanted to actually make physical versions of it. But if you're just doing this for like a 3D animation or a game, then amazing. Well, and there you have it, guys. That's pretty much everything I think you guys need to know about the Adobe Max for 2022. There's some pretty interesting things in there. I'm going to have to go back while I'm editing this and figure out what my favorites were. But what was your favorite? Let me know in the comment below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more design and creative entertainment. I'm going to go grab some dinner now. See you next time.